Launching a product can be a very, very profitable experience. It's not unknown for some of the top marketers to have $1 million plus days from a single product launch. You may not hit $1 million day straight away, but it could certainly be in your timeline. Launching a product and doing it properly makes it much more profitable. Many marketers launch products and they just sort of quietly appear on the market. No one's really aware of the fact that they've arrived. You want your product to arrive to a screaming fanfare of trumpets and everyone rushing to buy it, stampeding over each other in their desperation to give you their money. And what this course is all about is how you can create that stampede of customers the moment you launch your product. $1 million launches are not unknown. Think about Butterfly Marketing and many of the other big launches. They've made $1 million plus in a day through using these very techniques. If you're not a big name marketer, don't worry though. You can still earn several $1,000s just from a well-run product launch. Recent product launch of mine in 2 weeks brought in $6,000. I didn't do a lot of work for it, I must admit. I could have done a lot more, but it was just a fairly quick product. Out it goes, few JV partners, $6,000 in the bank account. Yeah, plan one well, have a good product that really over delivers on quality, and you can make a massive amount of money. But you have to have a good product. You can't peddle rubbish and expect your product launch to go well. It's got to be the sort of product that people look at and go, oh, I've got to have that. I really want that. That's for me. It's got to be a really, really good product that people want to buy and that they feel that they have to have. You've got to engage that feeling of, I can't live without that product. So the quality, I don't think high is the word I'm looking for, must be extraordinary. The higher the quality, the more you're going to be able to get that stampede of buyers. You've got to be able to deliver, in fact over deliver on your promises. And the main thing is your product must solve a problem that people are facing. You know, whatever it might be, a product is designed to solve problems. So it's got to solve their problem. So what the basics of a product launch is to prepare and test the sales page and the sales process. So get your sales page up, test the sales page works, test the buy button works, test the delivery mechanism works, test the files can be downloaded and opened. I mean, how many times have you bought a zip file, downloaded it, and it's gone, sorry, this zip file's corrupted. Test everything. Test it again, and then test it again, just to make sure. And if you're in the mood, test it once more. You never know when those gremlins are going to creep in. You've got to start approaching affiliates or getting them to find you and JV partners. 80% plus of your traffic will come from these people. Now, if you've got a list of hundreds of thousands of people, then that's not so much of an issue. But the big names still joint venture. Mike Filsami, when he released Butterfly Marketing, joint ventured with the other big name marketers. You've got to have that almost sort of saturated approach to get the maximum market you can. You've got to create a buzz. The whole point of the launch process is before you launch, you have the pre-launch phase, and that's where you're getting people excited about your product. You're educating them as to why they have to buy it, the benefits of it, and how they just can't live without it. And you've got to test everything, and I mean everything, and test it again. You've got to create your autoresponders. You need a pre-sales autoresponder and a post-sales autoresponder. One for people who aren't yet customers and one for people who are. And the two autoresponders will sell different things. You may even have a third one for your pre-launch notification list where you notify people of the launch. You've got to set a realistic launch date and stick to it. If you've got JV partners and affiliates all ready and primed to go off on a certain date and time, and you turn around half an hour beforehand and say, sorry guys, not going to make it, guess what? You won't get your JV partners. You've got to stick to the date, but not at the expense of quality. So most people will have the product 99% done before they set a launch date. You don't want to delay it unless you absolutely have to, because it'll inconvenience a lot of people. If you do, tell people you're doing it, delaying it, and tell them you're delaying it so that they can get better quality. And then the final step really is launching the product. So what's in this course? Well, It's basically a step-by-step guide to how to launch a product. I'm going to show you everything from sort of the basic phases of how to start thinking about a launch, through the pre-launch, to the post-launch. The whole process, the whole end-to-end process is going to be explained. I'm going to talk to you about how to work with affiliates and joint venture partners, how to find them, how to recruit them, how to keep them, what you need to give them, all of that information. I'm going to help you to understand the pre-launch process. This is something that a lot of marketers do not understand. They quite simply don't get it. So what I need to do is I need to explain to you what it is, how it works, and what you need to do in it. I've got to talk to you as well about how to handle the product launch. It's not just release it into the wild and hope for the best. There's certain things you need to do when you're launching the product for maximum effect and profit. I'm going to talk to you as well about the importance of testing. I've mentioned it already. I'll mention it continuously because it's vital. If you don't test, potentially you're setting yourself up for failure that could cost you an awful lot of money. I'm going to tell you what you need to do during the launch. And now don't mean go and sit on the beach somewhere and watch your PayPal account and hope for the best. You've got to be sat doing certain things to maximize your profitability. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. And I'm also going to talk to you about the post-launch process. What do you do once you've launched your product and it's made that initial bunch of sales? Where do you go next? That's another subject we're going to cover. This is going to be an in-depth course. There's going to be a lot of information. I want you to really grab a pen and paper, sit down, listen to this, watch it, and really prepare yourself for maximum learning and learn how to launch a product. Launch a product correctly and you could double, triple, quadruple, or even increase your income even more through following this process. So that's why it's very, very important that you can do this. So let's get on with the course. I want you to sit back, get your pen and paper, start taking notes, and prepare to learn how to launch your product.